as you can see, I'm Dr. Lauren Snedeker. I'm an assistant professor of teaching at Rutgers School of Social Work. I'm also the coordinator for the Aging and Health Certificate at this school. And I'll invite Dr. Tracy Davis just to say a little hello.
Yes, good morning, everyone. This is so exciting. I'm so happy to be here with everyone. Like Lauren said, my name is Tracy Davis. I'm an associate professor of teaching in the School of Health Professions. I'm the coordinator for our certificate in applied gerontology, as well as our tracks and bachelor's and master's programs. So thank you.
Yes, and we have a little bit more information about our backgrounds here. Tracy, do you want to share a little bit more about your academic background and your research?
Sure. So I have a PhD in gerontology, as well as a master's and a bachelor's. And so I've been studying aging for quite some time. I've been here at Rutgers since 2013, where I came to develop the aging tracks that we have in our programs. My research mainly has focused on HIV prevention for older adults, but more recently I've gotten into trying to incorporate aging education into the high school curriculum. And then also Lauren and I will share about some of our projects that we've worked on together.
Yes,
Thank
thank you so much, Tracy. And I've been at the School of Social Work since April 2020, which was a very interesting time to start, quite honestly, my first academic role out of direct practice. But I'm pleased to be here, and I teach and develop courses on aging and social work practice. And I also, as I said, manage the Aging and Health Certificate, which encourages social work students to earn the certificate, take specific coursework on aging and social work practice and health and healthcare, and also complete their field work in a setting that relates to those practice areas. I'm an alum. I got my doctorate here at Rutgers, my DSW. I still practice clinically part-time, seeing older adults. So I really appreciate just the ability to do both, and my research is developing in a variety of different ways, but I'm excited, along with Tracy, to share our most recent research effort that ties perfectly into today's event. So just a little background. I really love sharing, Tracy, and my story of how we connected and the past work that we did together with our schools under Rutgers University as our mother institution. So Tracy and I, sort of found each other as the aging folks at Rutgers, and just were so committed to finding ways to collaborate. But we weren't sure quite what. We knew that interdisciplinary work was clearly, an avenue we could take. But we also are equally passionate about educating students across different programs, across different disciplines and areas of study about aging, about ageism, about working with older people in vast industries beyond the helping professions, but also, of course, in the helping professions. So we decided to collaborate in 2021 for the Gerontological Society of America support something called Careers in Aging Week. And this is not something that is only an initiative and a kind of awareness building campaign that universities and schools can take. I actually, in my practice many years ago, was a part of a campaign, from the organization that I worked with to just raise awareness. We did a few, posts and things like that. And so I share that just because it is an opportunity for anyone to take this back to wherever they're coming from, to get involved in some way. And certainly you can reach out to Tracy and I as sort of, I would say we both lead this as the two primary folks here at the school to get involved with more community organizations. But we hosted a Twitter chat that invited people across the country, quite honestly, to talk about working with older adults, debunking ageism. Then we had a wonderful event that invited people across the school, students, faculty, instructors, et cetera, to have a live meeting to have those same discussions and think about next steps. This past year, I'm really proud to share that we took our our programming a step up, and we really invited, we had a 3-day event for Careers in Aging Week where we invited our faculty, our researchers, members of our planning committee, professionals in the field, and folks doing research on working with older adults and aging. We had people from tech, environmental design, oh gosh, medicine, of course, nursing, and a variety of other practitioners in the room. And it was wonderful because we had a great conversation on, oh gosh, we just had such great conversations on how to bring more age inclusivity into the classroom. And that leads us to sort of our next step in our professional relationship. Sorry, I think this is blocking. So this past, oh, Tracy, actually, I think I'm going to invite you to speak to this slide, right? Yes.
Sure,
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, so as Lauren was saying, we've been working together for the last couple of years, and our next step in our path, that we noticed that we both had experience in teaching students about ageism. We wanted ways to introduce them, to working with older adults. And we had this curiosity about how interdisciplinary faculty and instructors were experiencing teaching about ageism in the classroom, in and outside of health professions. So Lauren found this grant opportunity for us, and we decided to apply for the New Brunswick IDEA Innovation Grant. And IDEA stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Advocacy. And so we applied and we got the grant to develop a task force, being our main goal, to really unite faculty who work in the areas of aging for future collaborations to serve student communities and the communities that our university touches. We also want to assess and respond to impressions faculty have about teaching about ageism in their courses. Then our goal is to develop a toolkit so that faculty can incorporate discussions about ageism into their courses and feel more comfortable doing so in a meaningful way. And then we also want to be able to organize a campus event featuring the task force and experts in ageism to further educate our Rutgers community and create opportunities to make sure that our university is age inclusive. And we also are striving to earn the age-friendly university designation. So we're still in the early phases of working on this grant. We've developed our survey, and we're waiting for IRB approval to come back, but we're well on our way to establishing our goals here. So
yes.
Yeah.
We're so excited, and we feel as though these steps will really help lead us to earn that designation. And now I'm going to speak a little bit about what Age-Friendly University is. So Age-Friendly University, otherwise known as AFU, is a network that consists of higher education institutions across the world. It's a global international program. And basically a part of, similar to age-friendly communities, the AFU has created 10 principles for higher education institutions and colleges to endorse and become more age-friendly in their programs and policies. So this is something that's supported through the AGGI, the Academy for Gerontology in Higher Ed, and it was endorsed by them in 2016. And interestingly, this movement and network came from Ireland, Dublin City University in 2012. There are some wonderful researchers, and I believe the president of the university championed these principles out of, as we all know, realizing life expectancy is increasing and there are more older people in society, and our older adults today are very different from older adults of the past. And so how do we respond to those needs? How do we focus on inclusivity, as we were talking about? And how do universities partner with community organizations and respond to this call? So I'm sorry, I'm losing my little, here we go. So here are the principles, and I think that you'll receive a copy of our presentation, so I won't go through the entirety of the principles because they're long, but certainly making sure that older adults are able to participate in core activities of the university. You know, mostly every university has an Osher Lifelong Learning Center. We do at Rutgers, it's called Ollie-Roo, and we do plan to invite folks from Ollie-Roo into the task force to, again, bridge that gap between university and community, and also a variety of other organizations, such as retiree, faculty, and other organizations internal to the school, but also external to the school. I'd say that, you know, in terms of the principles, Tracy and I felt very strongly about first taking that step to understand how ageism is being positioned as an point of social justice, as something that we should be considering when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, is we really want to make sure that we're sending our students off, you know, into the world with this content and this knowledge if they don't already have it. And we also want to help professors and faculty and staff and folks that are student facing feel confident and comfortable and have resources that Tracy and I over the years have accumulated and bring into our class to help facilitate that knowledge and learning. So why become an age-friendly university? I'm sure everyone could agree that it's very important, but it does provide an opportunity to respond to the needs and interests of the emerging older adult population. As we said, advance equity and inclusion efforts that are focused on in university settings and everywhere, hopefully, and an opportunity to lead with other community partners to impact ageism and consider other opportunities for growth that facilitate supportive and inclusive aging for all. So I just want to note that Stockton, as far as I know, according to AFU's page, is the only university at this time with an AFU designation in the state. And I had the pleasure of speaking to their AFU champion, Dr. Rose there, and you know, I encourage anyone from any universities to connect with us. We're so happy to broaden our reach in terms of ensuring that all universities in the state of New Jersey become age-friendly. We're pleased, as we say here on the slide, to be on this path, and we're also pleased to share our experiences and have discussions, and we hope that we can turn that into a larger collaborative with other university partners. And our goal, as I've been saying this for a long time, but our goal is to get this designation in 2023 with the work that we've established through our grant. So you can always stay in touch with us as well. Here are both of our emails, and I thank you. And I think we want to make sure that we have some time for questions. So I'm just going to stop my share, and thank you all so much. Any questions for us, or any comments, or really anything? Jean.
Hi, Lauren. How are
One of my
you?
esteemed mentors, I might add. Yes, Jean.
I'm so happy that you're having this. So this is my question for you. With the age-friendly university designation,
Yes.
I thought that you didn't have to necessarily earn it, but that you apply and you just show that your university is working to become more age inclusive, regardless of sort of where you are on the spectrum. Has that changed? Is it more rigorous now?
It hasn't changed, Jean. Very good question. So I should have clarified. Really, that was our step to earn the designation. And as you can imagine, Rutgers, New Brunswick is a pretty big place. So we felt, Tracy and I, that in order to get this to the attention of folks that need to endorse it, this grant really helps spotlight our work and the initiative as a whole. Every school, and this is through AGI, every school takes a different approach, but the basic step is to map the principles against your school and the strategic plan. So that hasn't changed. It's not a rigorous process. However, each institution and its size varies. So personally, for us being at such a big school, we thought that it would be helpful. And we also have general, you know, investment in the grant and the work that we're doing. So it's sort of like a bonus.
Got it. So it's really
Yeah.
more, it's less about the AFU process. It's more about having Rutgers endorse doing this.
Yes. I mean, so the AFU process really involves, whomever, the president of university, the provost, the chancellor, folks who are able to make that decision and sort of sign this in, should be involved in that conversation. But as you know, at Rutgers, that's a pretty high ladder to climb. And so we thought that earning this grant would be a perfect opportunity, again, to spotlight the work and to include this in our grant. So that's the approach we took. Other schools, did other types of surveys. Other schools just created a task force and mapped the AFU principles against their school's strategic plan principles, and were able to move forward that way. So there's no one set way. This is just the way that Dr. Davis and I are taking. But we are happy to share resources. And again, the Academy for Gerontology and Higher Ed has all of the other, resources of what other schools have done. But there is no one formula.
Thanks so much, Lauren. I really
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. I see Jim and then Arlene.
Let me make sure that I am unmuted. Thank you.
You are.
Thank you very much. I am Jim Whiteley. I chair the board of Friends Foundation for the Aging. These are all very high-minded goals that I'm hearing. But what are some practical steps that you have taken to, for instance, like to attract retirees, elderly people to educational programs, providing transportation, for instance, for them. You see what I'm getting at? What are those things that you can actually do rather than, lofty goals? It's very important to have those, but how do they translate into practical measures?
Yeah, Jim, thank you so much. It's a really great question. And as a practicing social worker, I get like, how does this work when outside of the academic world? How does this work in the real world? So I guess Dr. Davis and I both agree that we feel that educating people who will be in these service positions is a really great and sort of low-hanging fruit for us as instructors and educators to be able to ensure that graduates from Rutgers New Brunswick, not just social work, not just from health professions, but graduates from the entire institution will be exposed to content on anti-ageist practices in whatever industry they decide to go into. So we believe that the task force that will be including people from all across all three of our campuses in New Brunswick will be able to champion that with us together. In terms of more practical, how does this get more operationalized? I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but there are other opportunities for our work with AFU at Rutgers to interface with age-friendly communities. Clearly, there's lots of parallels. So maybe there's an opportunity for us to use students on our task force to help deliver education. I know that in the Aging and Health Certificate, the students that I'm working with are affecting change in the agencies and the communities that they are working in. They are 100% passionate and dedicated to working with older adults. They've made that commitment, and they are walking into agencies with the energy and the dedication and the ideas to improve, the aging experience for us all. But we feel that having Rutgers become an age-friendly university will allow that to exist among all students at Rutgers. That's our goal. I know that's lofty too, but that is our goal. If we can educate students to understand aging, the ageism, being anti-ageist, that's, I think, pretty important to the points that you raised.
Thank you.
We only have 50 seconds. Arlene, do you think, I hope that answers
Yes,
the question.
the
Jen. Go ahead.
on the same vein, my issue is hearing loss. With 25% of people over 60 have hearing loss, 50% over 75, and in general, it's ignored. So captioning, assistive listening systems, this is an opportunity to shine light on that. Induction looping is a big issue in New Jersey right now, and this is a way to be inclusive, and the people who need these accessibility things don't know it and don't know how to speak up. So this is a perfect issue for your program.